Oh, hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Oh, that's why. Ding dong. Do you ever have to just laugh at yourself because you figure out what you're doing and it's just so simple? I thought this was blacked out from the lighting not being great, and it's actually the case of which I have my stuff in. Ta-da! Okay. You're gonna have to wait, love. That's why I fed you, so I can do this right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our cards out so we can do a shuffle. Maybe I can give her a bone. We've got Crown, Genie. Would you like a bone? We've got the Busy Bee. We have the Cabin or the Lodge. So the Queen Bee of the Lodge, perhaps. The headphones. Invitation only. Thoughts. 21 is the age of maturity or actual adulthood, I would say, because if you're able to drink, you're able to be responsible for all your choices. We've got Pinocchio, someone's telling a big old fib, or they keep trying to not fib. We've got Croc, which means that that's kind of full of it. Or someone's trying to hide the evidence after lying about it. And then we've got a Fire. If you give me just a moment, I'm going to make the afternoon of someone right now. Hold on. I don't know where I put them all because I had a whole bunch. And I had them in a great spot. Here's the great spot. There you go. Sorry about it. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. We've got two cards, sets of cards down at the bottom that are not showing, and those are the Croc and Fire. I just put the cards out like this because I'm just going to shuffle them. So there's some person who's in a place of royalty, or maybe it's like the crown or a head of some kind of group where they would call it the crown. It could be literally a prince or a king. This person could be granting someone with some wishes as long as they do the work in order to do so. In case you're new to the channel, these are cards that I've made and they're all at different stages. Like this one is straight, and it's going to be the straight haircut, but it's not colored. I just put the word down there so I wouldn't forget it. And then of course some of them are completely drawn, slightly researched, and so on and so forth. I've been working on them for a few years. We've got the queen bee here, so someone might be granting the wishes of a queen bee, or it could be part of a hive or a beehive, or actually, as I said before, doing the work, and they've been super busy doing this work. Lucky and Cabin and a test. So maybe someone passed some kind of test And then we've got, did you know when dogs do this, when they go half in, covers half out, it's called toasting? I didn't know that. But definitely someone has their head in the covers. They're partially covered. They're halfway there. They're halfway exposed. They obviously have a lot of trust because they're putting their face in the covers, right? It has something to do with some money, with the loaf, somebody's bread. Again, with the cabin or the lodge, someone is lucky. Maybe they passed the test. Now they trust this individual, perhaps. This person's just minding their own business. They're kind of excluding everything else out from around them. They're trying to tune everything out. And maybe someone's trying to make up something. Oh, I grabbed two, the hamster wheel. They're just trying to get through their day, right? And they just kind of enunciate the things that are most important to them, and they're living in peace with the lip. LIP for me is live in peace, so you can rest in it. So this person is just going down, putting their nose down in the what is it called? Grindstone? Is that what it's called? I forget. Guess it doesn't matter. They're just doing what they need to do in order to get through the day. The hamster wheel of life. And then we've got the locomotive underneath, meaning being on the right track. This whole thing with the crown and the wishes and the working hard and the cabin, whatnot, is by invitation only. It could be you following in the footsteps of an elder, someone who is pressurized and been formed in some kind of diamond, and this is going to be announced with the trumpet card. This is going to be rallying the troops, calling attention to something. I'm hearing the trumpet being blown when the troops are all supposed to be all gathering and having to do with WAR. To talk or write about something publicly in a proud or enthusiastic way. To draw people into worship. To have people gather or assemble or call soldiers to war. Someone boasting, blowing your own horn. Someone could have been boasting about the fact that they made this person work harder than they had to, but look what it did. It produced this person to be very strong, very precious, very, I wasn't going to say worthwhile, valuable. There we go. Following the footsteps of maybe their elder, or maybe someone has their child following in their footsteps. And this was all by invitation. Someone's having some thoughts about it on the new day. Again, with the number 21 being the legal age to consume spiritual drinks. It's also an angel number of fresh starts, good luck, and trust in relationships. And it's also a symbol of someone being proudly wrong, like 10 plus 9 is 21. It's like, come on. And they're just doing it all proud. I don't know what, I think that's slang for something. The Vikings used low light to locate the sun on overcast days, and that's this color. The purple blue is called low light, and that color is actually part of the anniversary years. So it's the 21st anniversary. Manifesting from thoughts, emotions, and actions. Make sure you're careful of what you're manifesting, especially with the 8-8 portal. We've got burnt roots. The potato is a roots. I was going to say root system. Someone's got a root, a burnt root chakra. with this being underneath that. Something has been buried and it needs to be dug up. And that would go with the going in the footsteps of somebody. Maybe burning a bridge with the whole cabin and lodge situation. We've got the Pinocchio and a little bird, somebody's sidekick. It's Robin, or it is even Robert or Bob. These are just stories, folks. So I'm not saying that Robert or Bob or Robin are liars, or they're working on their ability to tell the truth or not. Heck, maybe they're even just not really a boy. Maybe they're a doll, a wooden figure, or a puppet. This is alleged, and it's just a story. But a little birdie told somebody to pick whatever they were picking in order for this black hole to happen. Maybe they were picking on someone, trying to create a black hole, and it's if the shoe fits. And we've got this other pile down here with the crock. The crock for me is about hiding evidence, and it's also about not telling the truth. Like that's just a crock of, poop. Someone's not being honest. Someone's telling a false story. We've got the Loch Ness Monster. There's lumps in their story for sure. There's bumps in the road. The Loch Ness Monster, do you know if it's real or not? They say it's real. They say they have photos of it being real. And it's also, isn't that the one that's in Ireland? Something dark hiding just below the surface. It's a mystery, the hidden truth. Hey, Google, can you tell me where the Loch Ness Monster is located?
The Loch Ness Monster is a legendary creature said to inhabit Loch Ness, a deep freshwater lake in the Scottish Highlands.
Oh, Scottish.
While it has been the subject of countless stories and sightings for centuries, the scientific community considers it a myth, and no evidence has ever confirmed its existence. Would you like to hear about the history of the sightings at the loch?
Okay, so whatever the myth was that they were talking about this individual, it's and it could have something to do with this someone who is Scottish or from Scotland or whatnot. They've completely lost it between their fingers.
The legend of the Loch Ness Monster is deeply woven into Scottish identity and folklore.
Hey Google, can you stop, please? It's funny when you can say, thank you. It's funny when you can say something and it doesn't respond, but then you don't say anything like the keyword and it starts talking. Anywho, maybe whatever was said is they're realizing is a myth and they're going to go ahead and purify the DNA of the individual. Now someone's probably cleared the air or cleared the family lineage of this myth. There you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle these the way I would always. These are also cards from yesterday's or last night's reading. I tend to take the ones from last night or the time before, and then I'll slowly kind of work in the other decks to it, taking them from different parts of the deck because these have all been put in through going through the row, if that makes any sense. So that way I know that things are going to be moved around a lot. And then I'll take the front cards and put them towards the back, and I put the back cards towards the front. That way I don't know what the front and the back cards are, because I don't want to have a hand in, picking the cards. Bless you. Someone's seeing things differently in the light of the new day, perhaps. Maybe they got new information on something. Hopefully they're clearing the name of the family lineage. That would be nice. There's no kind of actual evidence or reason to believe. But in the Loch Ness situation, I mean, they had lots of sightings, right? I don't know. Maybe they just passed that down through the family lineage to keep the story going. I don't know, folks. I'm not a psychic, in case anyone wanted to know that. I'm an artist. I draw art on cards, and I tell stories through them. A lot of times it has to do with a lot of things that I've personally have experienced. I mean, obviously, I can only speak on things that I might have experienced or have knowledge about, right? Especially if I'm not a psychic. That's how that would work. We've got witch and we've got universe here showing themselves. Again, with the whole chakra system, somebody's root chakra is burnt. Get out into nature. Make sure you rebalance that. Greater than. And then we have sprout here and greater than. And we have monster that there. So getting back out and regrounding and balancing out your chakra is obviously going to show that it's a greater than practice than the whole monster narrative. Invitation only, again. You're being invited to rebalance your chakra system. Or you could be being invited somewhere by a witch. It's up to you whether you want to go or not. There's a commitment here. Whatever that invite is, you're being committed to something. If you choose to go. Okay. Taking the fronts. And here we are. Back of the deck, we've got an egg, a new beginning, a new opportunity. Handle with care. Someone had said to do some kind of egg cleansing, as far as like, I guess you just bring the egg around your body, and then after you've done it from head to toe, then you crack it into a glass with water in it. And if there's streaks that go up and down, I believe that the cleansing or the clearing of the negative energy has been completed. You'd have to do a Google interpretation on that in order to do it correctly, if that's something you're going to do. That's just what I remember, what I read, and I don't know what the other shape of the whites are, so we've got middle of the deck, we've got the pixie, so someone is just lighthearted, they're very playful, they have a lot of personality, they have a zest on life, they just want to play and have a good time, and just really appreciate life for all it has to offer. Someone's being forced to be quiet, though. Maybe the pixie is being forced to be quiet about this new opportunity. We've got the genie. You're being forced to be quiet about the gifts or the wishes that were made and granted because of the work. And we've got the nomad. Maybe someone wants to be a nomad. That's what their wish was. Or it was their wish that they made someone else a nomad. Made someone else homeless. And someone's being forced to be quiet about it. Maybe that was part of the plan of the invite. Yep, carrying your carrying your house on your back. We've got the turtle here, but there's evidence of that everywhere. There's a little snail up here. So there's clear evidence of why this person is having to carry their home and all their belongings and everything on their back. We've got go, which is our traffic signal. We have an intersection. Someone's at an intersection. We've got lost and found. These people are homeless. Perhaps they were TRAFFICKED. Once they were lost, now they're found. We have a tractor. The tractor for me is about the Midwest. It's also about plowing the fields. It's tending to the soil. It is the land. Places that have farmland like Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, some parts of Colorado, I would imagine. Giving credit where credit is due for your hard work. We've got the voodoo doll. We've got vomit. Someone is sick because of all the voodoo. Someone has a voodoo. Maybe someone is seeing the voodoo, and it's someone who's just an imperfect person. The number 6 is about family. It's about just being imperfect in general. It is about love, unconditional love, things of that nature. I'm noticing that the black and white cards here that are missing some details are covered completely by details. And that would kind of reiterate the fact of all the evidence and stuff that is there. The trail that's being left. The wasted resources are being seen. Whatever resources were wasted and lost, those are being found. It's being dug up. That voodoo was involved, and people are sick about it, and they cannot believe that someone would be like that. We've got flowers, the bloom. Someone's getting their flowers, maybe to put in their new house. Copycat. Maybe there's a lot of copycats. The chakra system. And then we've got the spiritual protector of the cat. Did you know that the cats are designed? I shouldn't say designed, but the cats are the protectors of the spiritual realms, and the dogs are the protectors of the physical realms. That's why they are domesticated animals for us, to keep us safe on both levels. This cat is in a place of contentment, and it's coming in under the tractor. This person probably really does address themselves a lot. Maybe they always look under the surface of themselves in order to till the soil, in order to enrich their own lives and to put deposits back into themselves as far as their mental health and their physical health. And maybe that's what's being illuminated with the moon. They say that the moon is a female essence and the sun is actually the male essence. Oh no, I have that backwards. The moon is male in German mythology. It reflects light. It moves around the planet. So maybe someone thinks that everything just revolves around them, and someone could be being protected from that. And then, of course, the sun is the female. It has to do with duality and balance as well. But overall, something's being illuminated. Maybe somebody's waterfall or windfall or emotions, or the emotions that are just out of control. basically just eroding the tractor land as it falls. So maybe there was some kind of emotional blackmail or emotional manipulation, or using emotions to manipulate another person, perhaps because they're an imperfect person in need of healing. They were trying to make someone unbalanced spiritually through this emotional blackmail because maybe they wanted the wishes granted for them. Maybe they're the ones who wished that someone else would have no home. And because we had the copycats there, the copycats were obviously involved with it or part of it. We've got Come Sail Away, and for the longest time I looked at this because, as I said, I did these years ago, and I kept looking at this like it was like some kind of like blob or something, and now I'm realizing that's a sand dollar. Duh. So we've got a sand dollar here. Someone could be coming in and finding or uncovering some kind of sand dollars. Come sail away. The ship has sailed. You're seeing a ship in the distance. Maybe you didn't board the ship. Maybe you had wanted to board the ship. Or maybe you just plain need to go to the beach and put your feet in the sand and just take a time out and just take a minute. We've got science. Someone's doing some kind of experiment, or someone is working on some kind of chemistry here. The copycat. Giving credit where credit is due. The copycat took credit for something that they didn't do. It was actually somebody else, and they were just trying to just take a chance and see possibly if they can just do the same thing that the other person was doing. This could be a Cancer who's doing this. This is my Cancer card with a hermit crab. So the crab is a symbol of Cancer. I was trying to do something different than things that I've seen, and who's to say if it's not out there? I don't know. But in this card, we've got one crab who's got its shell that it's supposed to live in, and then we've got the other crab who's living in a fake shell, which is the bottle cap and the plastic. And with that being said, just be mindful of your trash at the beach and other places, because the crabs will think that that little bottle cap is a perfect place to call home, but not realizing that that plastic, when it's, especially when it's baking in the sun, is going to leach into the poor hermit crab's body and make it sick. So whoever is trying to do this experiment and living in something that's very non-traditional or designed for them is literally making them sick. Perhaps it's the voodoo. I mean, I know voodoo is a thing, and obviously it's something that has occurred in nature for centuries, but in some realms it's just not natural as far as maybe the people they're trying to use it on. And so, of course, if it's not meant to for certain people, then it's going to come back and it's going to make people sick, because it just doesn't work on some people. I mean, biblically speaking, it says, touch not my anointed, right? We've got this black hole, whatever it is that this these people or the copycat or the, if it's a Cancer or if it's just someone who puts themselves in isolation, they wanted this person, their spiritual protection, to be into a black hole. Maybe they're trying to manipulate someone's spiritual protection in some kind of way because of the voodoo that they're using. I don't know, because I don't know how magic works, other than you're not supposed to use it on people who are of the children of the Most High, because those are a protected class of people. I've heard that it goes back to people. I've heard that if you don't want to participate in magic at all, it's not something that you condone, then you can't even send it back to where it comes from, because that's a common phrase that people use. Send it back to sender or something. You're not even supposed to say that, because when you say that, then you're participating in the act of, and you're sending something back to someone that was, it's just magic. Magic is magic, regardless of who originated the magic. If you're sending it back, now you're sending magic back to somebody. So the proper way biblically, I guess, for lack of better words, to handle the situation is to pretty much just especially if you're aware that magic is going on, is you just lift it up to the Most High, if that's your belief system, and you just allow the Most High to handle that kind of behavior however the Most High wants to handle it. That way your hands are clean of it. You're not participating in magic. You're not like, what is it, like an accidental participant. Um, if you're not wanting to participate in it, then that's how you keep yourself out of participating in it. You just reach it, you just give it up to the Most High, and you just excuse yourself from all the chaos and the mayhem of it. That's what I do as part of my prayers, as far as protection is concerned. Um, I have co-workers that I used to work with who says that they do believe in it and they do practice it. And so once I heard that that was a thing, and I'm learning along the way, I originally was like, send it back to sender, because I didn't know. I was ignorant on it. And so then I had to, then I learned that you just give it up to the Most High. And I know that when I said send it back to sender, it felt odd to me. Like, it just didn't seem like that made any sense, because it's like almost like a tit for tat situation. You know what I mean? And so luckily it came across my knowledge that you just give it up to the Most High and let the Most High take care of it. Right? I want no part of it. It's not something I've ever even understood to even be a real thing, and I don't want any. I want to continue just to pretend like it doesn't exist. The Most High can handle all those things that I don't know about. Someone's being picked on. Maybe that's being illuminated, that someone is being picked on. And then we've got Pinocchio coming here again. Someone who's probably not very honest is picking on someone. Maybe this person who's not very honest, they could be even lying to themselves. You know what I mean? Again, it could be a friend of somebody's. These didn't get mixed very well. It could be a friend of someone's, maybe someone you worked with. And I'm just noticing that I missed number 7 on this row, which would have been that come sail away. Someone could be sending flowers to someone's house. I'm contemplating if I should put this next card up here, if the shoe fits. We've got watermelon, the well. Let me just put these down. The extended, rabid. Someone is angry. We've got juggling. And then we've got the cabin, the lodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. Lucky. The lucky. Maybe someone's going to get a vacation home and they're going to luckily stumble upon it. Maybe they'll be in a place where they can afford to have a vacation home, a place to go to up in the mountains. So we've got the watermelon. Watermelon is not for everybody, just like we were talking about spellwork's not for everybody. Some people don't even like watermelon, believe it or not. And now they're saying, now I've seen in the grocery store that they're even selling watermelon seeds in a package with sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. So that's like a snack item. So there was one time when we were told not to eat the watermelon seeds because it could start growing a watermelon in your belly. And now we're finding out that I guess it's okay to eat watermelons. It's like, again, something that you were told wasn't okay. Now you're hearing that it is okay. I mean, everybody's practice is their practice. That's their business. That's okay by me, right? No judgment here. Just not something I want to do. Like, if you don't want to go to an amusement park and get on all the roller coasters, you have every right not to, or you have a right to. It's up to you and what you want to do. We've got the well here. Someone's trying to go deep into the well. Maybe they're trying to pull some kind of emotional information up, considering it's underneath the experiment card. They're trying to find some kind of way in. Maybe they're going to reach out to someone's extended family. Maybe it is somebody's extended work family. But they're mad or they're angry because someone is trying to juggle. whatever it is that's going on at the cabin or the lodge. I'm seeing this and I'm thinking their luck is running dry. This has glitter in it, but you can't see it. I'm thinking I might need to make that metallic. I don't know. Last card, the black hole here is going to be the center card of the entire spread. And so obviously all these things that are going on around the black hole, it's all going to get sucked into the black hole. It's all going to be swallowed. It's all going to be yesterday's news. That new opportunity though, maybe that's a new house. We've got sprinkler here. We're just sprinkling the luck. This is going to be the last. I don't know if you can see that. I don't see the comments, you guys, because it's all the way up there. We've got tests. Maybe they were sprinkling the lodge or whatnot. We're sprinkling tests kind of sporadically around, trying to see if someone truly was of this higher nature. The number 14. I found out that people who can, they see numbers as colors, that they see 4 as either green or blue, and then they see the number 1 as either white or black. I thought that was interesting. This is the 14th Amendment is about, it establishes birthright, and it also prohibits government from depriving a person of life, liberty, or property without a fair legal proceedings. And so there's could be some the due process clause and equal protection under the law. This could be something that has been going on, and maybe there's people who are involved in both the systems and the lodges, and perhaps they were trying to manipulate somebody's spiritual, everything that we were talking about before, and their home life, and making someone sick with voodoo because they are an imperfect person, right? And they wanted to make someone homeless. Perhaps they work in that kind of field, and they were denying someone the right to be able to of their life, liberties, and property. That's unfortunate. So someone is being held in a higher regard here. They've been tested, and I'm going to say it's like regardless of what kind of profession you have, regardless of whether you have a home or not, everyone will be tested by the Most High. And it just depends on what you do in that test will determine your next steps. Unfortunately, some people are used in those cases in order to test other individuals, whether they're going to do the right thing or not, or if they're going to give in to the greed part of life, or the ego part of life. And unfortunately, some people are deprived of their liberties and their pursuit of happiness in those cases because someone makes the poor choice because they're an imperfect human. But in the same regard, the person that was used in that test for that individual is also being tested because it is to see how they're going to respond or react to the situation. So if you're being tested in a situation that's causing you to have to work harder, perhaps, or threatens the fact that maybe you're not going to get, the recognition or the acknowledgement for whatever it is. Geez, I don't know how long that was not working. That's unfortunate. But someone, do I dare do it again? I have another headphone. I'm hoping that sound wasn't out too far or too long, but I could always go back. But I am going to reiterate the fact about the test. We're trying to test someone's ability to see things from a higher point of view, and those tests are pretty much sprinkled all over the place with among all different kind of people. I was mentioning that the number 4 is can be seen by color by some people. It's green and blue and white and black, and I'm saying that because it's just like people see things differently in different ways, right? Not everything is seen the same way. The number 14, as far as the amendments, is um, prohibits government from depriving someone or a person of life, liberty, or the property without the due legal or fair legal procedures. So you can't just take things away from people just because you want to or you feel like you want to. If you're in a place of authority like that, there is legal measures that you have to do in order to be able to deprive someone of those things that belong to them. I was mentioning as far as this opportunity for a house, maybe someone wasn't even given the ability to even know that it existed. Maybe someone was at a crossroads to decide whether they were going to give someone credit where credit was due, and if they were going to give the property over to the rightful owner, or if they were going to just go ahead and have it in their wish that this person was deprived of the home that they deserved. Now, this person was put in a test by the Most High, and this person, being an imperfect person, decided to take matters in their own hands and keep this gift, whatever it was, to themselves. Now, in the process of that happening, unfortunately, the person that this happened to was also being part of the same test to see how this person would handle the situation, and in regards to how they would respond to the situation. Um, Wherever this was happening, they were taking this person's home. They were trying to make them sick by using voodoo on them because, again, they are imperfect people. They were trying to deprive them of their spiritual protections. I am going to say again, in case it didn't hit in the video, as far as people using voodoo or doing magic or whatnot, you can, but it's in your best interest, if you don't want any part of magic, that you don't send it back to sender. You give it up to the Most High, because the Most High will use it and deal with it the best way that the Most High would like to. That is what it kind of means when it says that things that happen to you are pretty much going to be used in your best interest or in the betterment of you, depending on how you respond or react to it. Either you're going to get a lesson out of it, you're going to get reprimanded out of it if you choose to send it back. Now you're participating in magic, and now you've opened that door. If you're giving it up to the Most High to handle, then it's going to be used in the best way that the Most High sees fit in that situation, in order to provide the most growth for the people who are involved. So I'm not saying that you just have to roll over and take it, but if you're trusting in the Most High to deal with the matters and deal with things the best way the Most High wants to, the creator of all things, mind you, for those who are confused about that, um, then things will always work out in the best interest of the person that it was done to, only because this was an innocent party in all of this. This was a person that didn't want to participate in the chaos, didn't want to participate in the drama, the voodoo, the magic, all of that. Um, Wherever it is, the extended family or the extended work family, no matter how deep it got, this could be someone who's also voluptuous. Um, they might not like this individual who they were doing this stuff to for whatever reason. Maybe they just saw this person as being lucky. If it's a cabin or a lodge, they might be juggling something because of the actions of this person and because of all of the minute little tests that were being sprinkled amongst everybody in the situation. Check. Check. The 14 also adds up to a number 5, which is the number of change. So checks and balances, we've got stepping stones. Maybe be mindful of your steps. Just take the small steps. Every little step towards your goal is a step worthwhile, right? Maybe they're checking somebody's steps and the pathway that they took. Maybe they're checking, as we had before, the evidence trail. They're looking into all of that, whoever they may be. And then, of course, we've got the amusement park, where I used that as an example before. It's like not everything is for everyone. Biblically speaking, you're not supposed to use voodoo or magic on the chosen ones. And I don't really like the word chosen, but those people who are the anointed, apparently those are the chosen ones. A lot of people who believe that they're going to go to make it to heaven and the afterlife and be forgiven for all things probably won't be because of where their actual heart, their true heart intention was placed. All these tests are based on the actual heart of the person. So, for example, it is my belief, and mind you, I'm not a psychic, folks. I'm going to say that again. I'm not a doctor. I'm not licensed for anything. So always do your own research, your own discernment. It is my belief that it's like your heart is the part that matters, your heart intention. So if you were, let's just say you were probably blackmailed into something, or you were heavily coerced into something because you felt like you had no other options, no other choices, because you're not educated on what those options and choices could have been. And you, because of being pressured by whatever this is with the being restricted of your liberties or whatnot, and you were forced into a situation, if it was something that you felt like you had no other choice but to do, I'm thinking for those people who are being blackmailed by people in this place because they didn't know they had any other options, or they didn't know where they were supposed to go or turn to, the judgment from, only God can judge others, right? And we've got this black hole. Oh, look, the 14's right on top of the black hole. I don't know if that part made it into the video, but everything that's going on around this black hole is going to be sucked into this black hole. It just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's just going to all just, there is no end to it unless you make an end. It's all going to be found out. And since we've been talking about the Most High, I'm going to say it's all going to be found out about with the Most High. The Most High knows the true heart and true intentions of the people involved. He will weigh the weight of those hearts. So truly, if someone is truly sorry and truly regretful for the things that they participated in and for the things that had gone on, the Most High will know that. For those people who are just faking the fact that they're sorry, maybe that's part of the whole Pinocchio card. You're just faking it, like, oh, you say you're sorry, but your heart will tell the real true tale. So if you're at a place where you're kind of just faking your regret, you may want to tune into yourself and really kind of work on yourself, dig deep into um your well of who you are and your well of emotions, and see how deep you really can go. Maybe get the psychiatric needs that might be there, the therapy that is needed in order to connect to your feelings about things, just so you can repair your heart and your connection with the Most High. All it takes is the desire to do so, and it's there available for you. And again, it's not for everyone. Just like if you don't want to go on a roller coaster, you don't have to go on a roller coaster. But some people really like the thrill of going on a roller coaster, and that's their business. Some people, the roller coasters make them sick. So, I mean, whatever, do what you do. Your judgment is between you and the Most High. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And if there's a weight on your body and your mind and your spirit about what you've been doing is not the right thing to do, well, you know what? Forgive yourself and go work on it. Free yourself of the weight of it, because if you are truly repenting and truly sorry and truly upset perhaps by your actions, and you go and have that conversations to the Most High on the spiritual level, you can be forgiven. Doesn't mean on the physical level you don't have to pay the price for your choice and take accountability for that, but on the spiritual level you can be set free from it. It's truly a gift. You just have to do the work. Even if you feel like you're forced into being quiet about it, you can do the work regardless of what choices and decisions you've made. There is help out there. If it's for counseling, you can go to churches for counseling. You can go to find a therapist. Some therapists are not going to be for everyone. It's going to be like a personality thing that you've got to look into. There is patient doctor confidentiality, so you have that. Um, you just need to go, if it's in your heart to do so, just find the help. And I can guarantee you that anything that's been done, it's been done by somebody else. Um, and there are storylines that people experience that other people are familiar with. It's happened to them as well. We've got a ruler here. Someone is trying to measure something. In the pre-read, we had the crown there. So it could literally be someone who's like the head of some kind of corporation. It could be actually the crown of the Most High itself. It could be somebody's chakra, the crown of their chakra system. And now we've got the ruler here with the CEO. It could be a company, a head of a company, the CEO of a company. It could be someone who's trying to measure something out. We do have the experiment card here. We've got confusion. Someone is confused. Maybe the head of some kind of team is confused. We've got a bag of balls. Maybe they really just don't know the outcome of this. They really don't know what to expect. When the PE teacher brings out the bag of balls, then you're like, oh, what are we going to play on the, what game are we going to play today? Someone could be confused about this whole thing altogether. Maybe in that confusion, they decided they were going to make a deal with the devil, not realizing they were making a deal with the devil. Maybe that was the only way that they thought they had out of a situation that they were being pressured into. And again, maybe they were being pressured into the situation and it was the devil who was making that coercion. The devil's going to use any kind of means necessary in order to get whatever soul that they're trying to get. The devil doesn't really care about anybody, and the devil's a liar. Biblically speaking, the devil won't deliver on anything. The devil will use you and leave you out to dry. The devil doesn't care. If someone's going to make you a promise that seems too good to be true, or is going to overly threaten you about something, like if you don't do this and your family's in trouble, the devil's a liar, folks. And I'm not saying that someone's not going to follow through on whatever it is that they're threatening, because my ex used to always say that it wasn't a promise. It was, it wasn't a threat. It was a promise. And I witnessed some of the threats that he made, and he did make promises on those. So I'm not trying to say that people who make threats are not going to follow through, because I can't speak for anybody. I'm not a psychic, as I'm going to say again. But I do know that everything that is done is going to have some kind of repercussions on it, because all of our decisions are going to provide the next steps to our next choices in life, of what we're even given as a choice in life. This could have something to do with someone who has facial hair. And it could be that perhaps this deal that was made with the devil is growing in size, because it's like, if you don't deliver on your part, then what you owe the devil is also going to grow, because you're probably going to have to go back to the devil and ask again for an extension, more time. And then, of course, if you're going to be given more time, then of course there's going to be something that deal or that arrangement is going to expect in return for it. Again, I'm going to reiterate. There is a way out. You can go to the proper authorities of who you trust and believe that they're going to be able to handle the situation. Unfortunately, there are, and I've seen it on in videos, there are some counties and some cities that their judicial system is not on the upright. That's just allegedly speaking. I'm not saying that that's how they are, but I mean, we see movies about it all the time, right? About a dirty COP. We see people, I mean, they're human, they're imperfect, and they're being tested just like everybody else. Everybody's human, folks. Even the people who are in the spotlight in entertainment, those are human beings. Well, I guess there's theories out on stuff like that about different people in different walks of life of being different things. So there's just so much information. It's like you don't know what to trust or believe unless you just look in and tune into your heart about it. This could have something to do with a female. Maybe the female situation's growing. Maybe a female has facial hair. Who knows? But turn to the Most High. Get connected to the Most High, the creator of all things, and just use your discernment. Use your discernment to do the right thing. Be the queen bee. Do the work. There is protection of the queen bee. There's a whole hive of people trying to protect this individual, perhaps. And this could be the person who's creating all the chaos. This could be the person who's ultimately just pissed off, who was in your extended work family, who was working with these lodge people. I know I had a coworker who did do spell work on people, and she said that her husband, wow, she said that her uncle, who was actually a priest, helps her with her spell work. And perhaps everyone's trying to protect this person. I don't know. It's all alleged. These are just things that I've heard and things that I've witnessed, and I don't know how they all go together. I can only make assumptions. I just know what I saw and the sequence of events here. The final outcome card in this is a ship, a situational ship, and maybe that's what I was saying about the priest, the uncle is the husband. I don't know. They could be married in a spiritual realm of things. It could be the third party. Third parties don't always have to be three-way relationships. It could be even like an understanding, a friends with benefits. It could also be someone who just really is into their work, and it's putting them in a situation. But I'm seeing this retort. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. It's all child's play. It's immaturity. It's a lack of knowledge. It's ignorance. It's sarcasm. Things of that nature. It's playground games, right? You've got the number 2 is the master number and the ultimate last card of the Tarot Major Arcanas. So I'm going to say that's the end of the road, folks. We've got the number 4. Everything will balance. Everything will come back to stability. And with that being said, folks, make it a great day. Oh, look, there's the treasure coming out now. The treasure and the island. There was definitely treasure in being isolated and on your own island for as long as you may have been. It was just to tide you over. This is a snack. It was just to tide you over. All right, folks, thanks for being here. Make it a great day. And I apologize on the volume cutting out. I'm going to have to go back and see what was missed. Or maybe, hopefully, I just covered the important parts that I assumed were missed. That being said, if you have not yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to see more videos, if you liked the video, please like the video. It really helps get the video across different channels and whatnot. And once again, I apologize. I could not see the comments during the live just because of the way it's set up. If you did do any comments, I appreciate that as well. I hope you kept them kind. Because that's where we're at. We're trying to live in peace. Oh my goodness sakes, I can't get it out. There we go. How funny. Resurrection Point 22 had a message that they posted at 11:32, and it was taken back, and we're ending our read at, oh, I didn't know I can zoom in and zoom out. Oh, that's good to know. And we're ending our card on, we're ending the read on, almost ended it on the number 22. With that being said, and we have 2 likes. So there's a decision being made here today, folks. With that being said, make it a great day. Take care. And I hope something wonderful happens for you today. Bye.